What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back. I'm just in my Christmas sweater. We got Snoopy on there. Check it out. We're hanging out with the Snoopy Christmas sweater. It's December 24th. What's going on, bubbies? Welcome back to the channel. So I just wanted to do a quick video today. The other day, I saw something interesting to me. Some e-bike news hit the internet. I saw that Onyx, Onyx Motorbikes, now known as Onyx Motors, apparently. So it seems like Onyx is back somehow. So if you're out of the loop, if you're not aware, Onyx Motorbikes, it was originally founded by this Tim Seward guy. I think he's kind of like a designer. So Tim Seward, he originally designed it. He was the founder of Onyx. But then the Tim guy got sick of running the business and dealing with all that stuff, and he just wanted to keep designing and making products. So he apparently sold the business to James Catableau. I don't know how to pronounce that, sorry. James. So Tim Seward, he sold Onyx Motorbikes to James Catableau in December 2023. So that was about a year ago. But then they ran into some issues because Catableau, he unfortunately passed away at the age of 37. Yeah, so that is unfortunate. So he was kind of like the main CEO guy that had been running Onyx since 2019. So as far as I can understand it, the Tim Seward guy, I think he kind of came up with the design and the visuals and everything, but then the James Catableau guy, it seems like he was kind of the guy that was actually running Onyx Motorbikes from 2019 to 2023 until they ran into some problems after he passed, unfortunately. So it says at the time of his passing, the company was already dealing with financial difficulties, including unpaid bills and legal disputes. Catableau's death, coupled with the absence of a will or succession plan, left the company's future uncertain. Creditors, such as Oxygen Funding, are currently seeking control over Onyx's remaining assets to recover debts. Okay, so then it looks like there is a video from TechCrunch about this. I actually haven't watched this yet. I wonder how long that is. I read the article on TechCrunch that goes into it a little deeper here. Let's see. This is really bright. I'm being blinded. Let's do something here. Let's get the Onyx up there, and then let's get this article over here. Okay. Where did my Onyx go? There it is. Alright. Actually, it's right here. This is what we want. So, I was just kind of curious, what happened to Onyx? What is going on? And then, so now they're back somehow, right? Somehow they've come back and they're selling. So, I mean, this is kind of the news, right? Is that Onyx is back and they're selling 100 of these RCR LTD bikes. So, the cool bike, the cool e-bike that Onyx was known for was the Onyx RCR. Right? So that's this bike right here. So now they're coming back, and so I was like, what's going on? I thought Onyx, I thought the founder died, and then it was kind of in the ether. The future of Onyx was uncertain. And then so all of a sudden the other day I saw that people are talking about buying Onyx RCRs again. So it seems like what's happening, my understanding, what's happening here is it seems like, I don't know that Onyx is back necessarily, right? I think what's going on here is Onyx, people are fighting over Onyx's assets. Or at least that was the last known information, right? It's the founder died, there was no will or succession plan, and then so there's creditors in the United States that are fighting for assets. And then I think there's actually a supplier in China that a partner of Onyx that was still owed some money. So I think the creditor in the U.S. and then the Chinese supplier, like the assets are kind of like split between them, and they're kind of like fighting over who gets the remains of Onyx, apparently. And I'm thinking they probably figured it out by now. I'm not sure about the latest information on what happened and how Onyx has come back. They haven't really said yet, but they're selling bikes again. So I was wondering, I was like, what happened? Like, what is going on? I thought the guy died, and then they were like out of business, and nobody knows what's going on. And then also is there's a lot of people that paid for bikes and paid for stuff and purchased things and sent Onyx Motorbikes money, but then the guy died, and I think like when the founder died, a lot of things just seemed like they came to a screeching halt as far as like business operations, right? So there's a lot of people that paid for a bike, paid like $5,000-$6,000 for a bike, and then they never even got it because of all of these problems, right? So I wanted to look into this further. So I mean, they're selling Onyx RCRs. That's the news, right? It's this LTD version of the bike. What I think they're doing is I think they still had an inventory of bikes and supplies and stuff, and they must have just done something to throw together 100 bikes, and now they're trying to, I don't know, I'm wondering, let me know in the comments, guys. Do you think that Onyx is like actually back here, or are they just trying to like clear inventory? Like, this is what I'm wondering, is Onyx actually back? Are they going to continue producing bikes? I'm curious how that might work if that's the case. But also, it's like, are they just trying to clear inventory? Right? Like, did they just throw together 100 bikes and then slap this LTD sticker on it and call it cool, and now they're just trying to sell 100 bikes to recoup losses? Or are they actually gonna like start the company back up and start building bikes again? I don't know. But so the Onyx, it was a really cool bike, so I hope that they can figure something out. It says right here, where does it say? It says right here, exclusive features. Right here, it says each bike is uniquely marked with a holographic decal displaying its individual number, such as 1 out of 100, and comes with a certificate of authenticity, signed and sealed by Timothy Kevin Seward, the founder of Onyx. So that's the original founder, right? The original Timothy Kevin Seward, the guy that sold Onyx Motorbikes to the James Catablu guy, who was the acting CEO until he passed, right? So apparently they've got the original founder, Timothy Kevin Seward, to come back and get involved here with his old business, because he's signed these certificate of authenticities that are being that are being sold as an exclusive feature along with his bike. So that's kind of interesting. So I guess if you want an Onyx RCR, there's currently a limited edition of it that they're selling, and it might be very limited. I don't know. It might be the last 100 Onyx RCRs ever sold. So I hope they come back at some point. But so then I found this other article. This is just kind of like a short summary that went into a little bit more details, because I was reading around and I was just trying to figure out like what happened, what's going on. So let's read this. So it says, the story of Onyx Motorbikes is a tragic tale of a promising startup that fell apart after the sudden death of its CEO, James Catablu. Blue, known for his warm personality and love of riding, was watching his e-bike company crumble under the weight of unpaid bills, legal problems, and a delayed shipment from a Chinese supplier. His health was also deteriorating, with breathing difficulties and trouble walking. Then on December 12, 2023, Blue died unexpectedly, unfortunately. So rest in peace, my good friend. You will always be remembered for your great work at Onyx. So Blue's death left Onyx Motorbikes in a state of uncertainty. With no will or succession plan in place, the future of the company and its assets became unclear. Currently, no one owns Onyx Motorbikes. All operations have come to a halt. Oxygen Funding, a creditor owed $2.2 million by Onyx, is seeking to become the administrator of Blue's estate to resolve the company's issues. However, there are legal battles between Oxygen Funding, former shareholders, and the Chinese parts supplier over control of Onyx's remaining assets. The story of Onyx Motorbikes also sheds light on the challenges faced by sole business owners who fail to plan for their company's future after their death. Blue's journey with Onyx began when he acquired the company from its founder, Tim Seward, for just $1 in 2019. So I guess that Tim guy, he basically just gave away Onyx to Blue because he didn't want to deal with like the taxes and all that stuff. And also Blue didn't have a whole lot of assets. So it says, although Blue was dedicated to running Onyx and getting cool bikes into the hands of customers, he made some mistakes as a first-time business owner. He signed himself as a personal guarantor for lending agreements and overspent on supply and accounting costs. So that's a big one, where he signed himself as a personal guarantor for lending agreements. So it's like, usually in business, it's like, well, if something goes wrong, like the business is liable. We've got like a limited liability company or something. So if something goes wrong in business, it's not like you're personally liable. But it sounds like Blue signed something maybe he shouldn't have, and he was in perhaps a bad position. Additionally, Blue had a strained relationship with his two shareholders who eventually sued him. They claimed a percentage interest in Onyx and were involved in company affairs. Blue attempted to remove their decision-making powers, but faced legal complications. Oxygen Funding entered the picture as a creditor, providing cash flows to Onyx and holding its supplies and assets as collateral. Blue's passing left Oxygen and other creditors with only the remaining e-bike supply as a means of repayment. In the days leading up to his death, Blue's mental capacity declined, causing concern among his colleagues. His mother revealed he had been ill for months, even being hospitalized. Onyx's purchasing director noted that Blue was slipping in his responsibilities, prompting others to step up and try and save the company. However, Blue's death left a void that Oxygen Funding is now seeking to fill as the administrator of his estate. The complicated web of legal and financial troubles surrounding Onyx Motorbikes demonstrates the importance of succession planning and proper financial management for businesses. The fate of Onyx remains uncertain, with its assets split between creditors and legal battles over control. It's unclear if the company will ever exist again or if its brand will be revived by former shareholders. The company serves as a cautionary tale for business owners to plan for the future and protect their assets to avoid such complications in the event of their death. So that was a good article on, I guess it's Global Village Space, that I found that kind of summarized everything. And then there's also an even better article. It's basically the same thing. It's on TechCrunch. It's about Onyx Motorbikes was in trouble, and its 37-year-old founder or owner died. So that was from this May. That was a good article. I'm not going to read this one because it's basically just a more detailed version of the story that I just read you. Talks a little bit more about the original founder, Tim Seward, and how he handed the company off to James Catableau. So it says, my tax advisor said he sold the company off for $1 to avoid paying taxes. And he had another good opportunity waiting. So he just kind of like handed Onyx off to James, I guess. So it's kind of an interesting situation here with Onyx. I guess they're selling bikes. If you want an Onyx RCR, this LTD edition of it is potentially your last chance. So I wonder what'll happen with that. And then the other thing that I noticed was that there's even more people here. So down in the comments right here, this guy says, I paid $5,000 for one of their bikes in September 2023 and never received it. They have been messaging me all the way through April of 2024 saying it will be just a couple more months. So it seems like several like individual people have also attempted to file as a creditor for Onyx because they're trying to get their money back. Like they bought a bike and then the dude died and then they never got anything. And apparently they're having trouble like getting their money back at all. So very interesting situation here with Onyx. I just wanted to run through that with the short amount of time that I have available right now. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. I think that the Onyx, I always love these Onyx bikes. Like this thing, it was a direct drive hub motor e-bike. Super fast. Like 100 and something amp controller, 120, 180 amp controller or something. Like this thing, 55 to 60 miles an hour. These things are sweet. Like this is probably like the first cool e-bike. You know, like that was more like a motorcycle. You know, like the first cool fast e-bike. And it's kind of like a timeless thing, you know? Like I don't think that anybody has ever really like done a great job of copying it. Just kind of like just the design of it. You know, that Tim Seward guy seems like he's pretty good at design. He's designed a lot of products and stuff. And the Onyx is just one of them. Like I have a Sonos sub and I was looking at that Tim guy's personal website. And I guess the Tim guy designed the Sonos sub that I own. And it's like a very futuristic looking subwoofer, Sonos subwoofer. So it's a cool looking bike. I love how it looks. I hope that Onyx can come back somehow. But I'm just kind of wondering, is this just like a bunch of creditors like fighting over their remains? Did they just slap these bikes together and they're just trying to sell off the remaining supply and that's it? I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments, guys. I do have some hope because it seems like with this certificate of authenticity signed and sealed by Timothy Kevin Seward, it seems like since that original founder guy is kind of getting involved here, perhaps like the creditors and the Timothy guy and the Chinese people, maybe they all came to an agreement and they're trying to get Onyx up and going again. It seemed like the CEO of that, what was it, the Gravity Creditor place, he liked the product and he was just kind of bummed out that the guy died. So it seems like the Oxygen creditor, the people at Oxygen, like they liked the Onyx, and it seemed like they would like to try and get it going again. So I'd be interested to know if anybody knows like what's going on with Onyx, let us know in the comments. But yeah, that's about all I have to say with this. I hope Onyx comes back and they can figure it out. And maybe the Timothy, Kevin Seward guy can get involved, or they can figure out some new people to get it up and running again. It's a cool bike. It's a cool bike, and it was a bummer that the James Catablu guy unfortunately passed, and things had to end up like this. But I don't know. If you want an Onyx, go buy the LTD. Support Onyx Motors. And maybe in the future, Onyx will continue putting out more e-bikes. We'll have to stay tuned and see what happens. So leave a comment, like, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. That's it for this video, guys. See you next time. Peace out. Merry Christmas.